Okay guys, I'm here with Jeff, my husband, and I'm so excited to talk about being satisfied in our marriage. What a big concept. So babe, how do you think that we struggle to be satisfied? And then how can couples and others and us seek to be satisfied in marriage and relationships?
Well, my number one tip is there's this book called Satisfy.
Oh,
and if you read that book, problem solved. So that's what I would say first. Now, if the Satisfy book doesn't satisfy, then on top of that, what I would say is genuinely, I would say, the cliche answer is just be satisfied in the Lord and then your marriage will be satisfied. That's true technically, and that is true theologically. But I think, how does that play out? There's some layers there. I would say for me, when I think of the word satisfy or satisfaction, when I think of all that, what I think of is, eating, of course, always. But when you eat something that's satisfying you, there's like a measuring of it being good that you don't know necessarily exactly why. And I think that's kind of true when it comes to human flourishing, with how God's designed the world and the earth and marriage to work, where we know when we give to our spouse, when we sacrifice for our spouse, there's like a little taste that does in our mouth that was hard and more difficult, but kind of tasted good.
Yeah, I think a big thing is it could be under the umbrella of obeying the Lord.
Yeah.
And the Lord tells us to give thanks and to serve each other with gladness and to be people of prayer. And so I think in times when in our marriage or a relationship where I've struggled, I've gotten bitter in my heart, I've wanted to nag, I've gotten resentful, it's because I haven't been doing those three things. And so I think prayer allows us to have the mind of Christ, to be on the same page of Him, to let Him change us, and to know that we can't control things, but it's up to Him and the Holy Spirit to change. And so I'm going to go to Him and I'm going to cast all my anxieties on Him and ask Him, how can I serve my husband? How can I forgive him? How can I show him that I love him? All those things, and being prayerful over our marriage. Yeah. I think when we give thanks, that shows us that we have things to be thankful for, and there's always things to be thankful for, but I think that changes our heart posture towards our spouse. And then also when we serve with gladness, it can be really easy for me especially to serve out of not gladness.
Yeah, totally.
And that brings nobody joy, but to really ask the Lord, like, man, Lord, I'm thankful that I have a husband to serve. I'm thankful that I have a house to clean up after. All those things. That helps me to serve you with joy and to be for you. I think that's the biggest thing, like to be for each other. That'll bring satisfaction.
Yeah. So she said it best, you guys. Like God's commands, God's Torah, God's law. Give thanks. Yep. What was it? Pray.
Yep, and serve with gladness.
And serve with gladness. And then the fourth one I read in Deuteronomy last week, go by Satisfy. Woo!